Okay, now members, we are going to see deflections in vertical lines and the horizontal line other than the x and the y axis. Now, here in vertical line, these are lines that are perpendicular to the x-axis. I think for now we know what to call an x-axis. For example, line x equal to 1, this means that it's a line that passes through x equaling to 1. Line passing through x is equaling to 2. Line passing through x is equal to negative 3. Then horizontal lines, horizontal, like you hear what horizontal. Vertical, these are the lines we're expecting. When I have this line, what do you think, which axis do you think is going to cross? The x-axis. So it's vertical. Because the x-axis is horizontal, so meaning it's going to be vertical. And it's going to cut it. So that's why you say they are perpendicular. You see, if this our x-axis is like this, horizontal. So if they are perpendicular, so those are what we call them. Then horizontal lines, these are lines that are perpendicular to the y-axis, horizontal. So for them, they are like this. So this means that they are cutting the y-axis. If the y equaling to 1, 2, and negative 5, etc. So I'm just giving you samples. So here, for example, let's see vertical lines. So this one is a vertical. It's passing through a point negative 2. The x coordinate is negative 2. So the name to that line is x equaling to negative 2. You get a point? Then this one, you see it's passing through 1. So the name to this is x equaling to negative 1. You get, because it cuts the x-axis, so x equaling to 1. So if it was passing through 2, it would be x equaling to 2. Then come to horizontal, you say horizontal now. For them, they are cutting the y-axis. So this is called, you see it's passing through 3. But it cuts the y, so then it's called y equaling to 3. You see this one? It's also cutting the y-axis. But this side down, so through negative 2. So it's a line y equaling to negative 2. So those are what we call the vertical and horizontal lines. Now, when we look at this critically, note, x-axis is a horizontal line called, who can answer for that? Who can answer that? We've seen now vertical and horizontal line. Now when you look at the x-axis, you see the x-axis is there. It's a line, it's a horizontal line called y equaling to 0. Why is saying it's y equaling to 0? Because it cuts the x-axis, yes. I mean it cuts the y-axis, yes. It passes through the origin. Okay, it passes through the origin, but which specific point is that? Which specific coordinate is that? 0. Because we know that the coordinate is, the origin is at 0, 0. So the other name for x-axis is the line y is equaling to 0. I think you see the x-axis, you see it's horizontal. It's passing through 0. Do you get the idea now? I think even if I don't ask the y-axis, the other name for y-axis is x equaling to 0. For it now, it's vertical. But it passes, it cuts the x-axis. So those, if you know those ones, then the rest are going to be very easy. So can you now form groups of 4? Groups of 4. Now, find the coordinates of image points or figures below when reflected in x equaling to 1. I think now people can place x equaling to 1. And then they say, but here it is y equaling to negative 1. Can you form groups of 4? You start, you take 8 minutes for this and also 8 for that. So you start it. Okay. Then a group which is through Okay, we have two groups here too. So let me take group A. So this is what group A have been able to get. This is what the work for group A there. I think you can able see it. Yeah. But here they don't have coordinates. They became excited. So let us go through the work of group A. I'm going to pin it here. Then we go through it. So group A, that's how they're able to manage to get that. So now I'm going to start by, you drew the line x equaling to 1. Is it cutting the x-axis, the y-axis? The x-axis y, because it's a vertical line. So now you see, you come on the x-axis, where do we have 1? You see our 1 is there. Then after, we draw a line passing through 1. Now here, I'm going to use dotted line so that I can differentiate. So which name can I give? This is my 1. X equaling to, you always name that line, x is equaling to 1. Now we are going to reflect, this is going to act as our mirror line. So you name, so this is our mirror line. So like we've been using the x and y axis, now we are going to use this one. Now it's going to act as our mirror line. So as you see how they did it. Then from here, it means that we say the image, when this is the mirror line, it's meaning that this one is going to be the first on the other side. So now we measure the distance from here to the mirror line, because now our mirror line is this, not this. So now we measure from x up to this one. We are getting 2 units. It means that even now the image is going to be from here 2 units inside, as some people say. So it's going to be there. So this is where my 2 units are, based on this. So this will be where, this is where my x now line is going to be. Then if I get y, I measure from the mirror line from here up to here. This is the mirror line. So from here up to here, I'm seeing there are 5 units. Then I also measure from here, going inside 5 units. So it's dropping me here. So this one is where I have. Now this is the image. That's why I'm putting a line, as you see they did there. Then I also measure from here up to here. I'm seeing there are 4 units. Then I also measure from here up to here, still 4 units. 4 units. So this is where my 4 units are going to be. So this one is going to act as my Z line. So after they joined, as you see, they joined. So I'm also going to join. So always what you need to know, the distance should be perpendicular from the mirror line. So that is the shape. Okay. Are they similar? Okay. For you, in your diagram, I think you see these ones, they were very similar, I'm just using a blackboard. So after doing that, so whoever did this, you give a mark here for drawing this, then a mark here, a mark here, and a mark here. Then write the coordinates. Let us see how I write the coordinates. X line. So for them, they are handing 3, 1. So let us read. This is the point now. The x is the 3. What about the y? The y is 1. When I come now to y line, the x is 5. We said the point is in xy form. Then y is 1. Then come now to z line, they have x as 4. So this is 4, comma, and then the y as 3. So that's what I expected. So for each group which is having this, you give one mark here, a mark here, then a mark here. We extend the work. I don't need to extend the work to different groups. Do we have that? Okay, so that's what I expected. This is now was acting as an line. So these ones, they were also right. I'm going to mark them after. Then you come back to 52. In your groups, now the line y equal to 1 as the near line. Now this is y. This is where y equal to 1 is. Can you come and draw it? You fear people? Okay, so this is y. You see that it's y equal to this horizontal because it's y. Once it's y, and this is a constant 1, 2. It means it's going to be there. So this is my y equal to negative 1. Then I draw a line. I'm going to use dotted lines for the reasons I brought in so that I can differentiate properly. From there you can differentiate. So this is now my line. Y is equaling to negative 1. So now this one is going to act as our middle line. Middle line. So it's going to be reflected now. This now the middle line. This one is going to be reflected this side. Okay? So we measure, we start with A. From here we measure, it's 1 unit. It means that now, even here, I measure 1 unit from there, it's going to be here. This is what I got. This one is going to be a line. And I measure from here up to here. From the rear line up to the point. So here I'm getting 4 units. Then from here up to here, I also measure from the rear line, measure 4 units. So this is where it's going to be. So this one becomes our B line. Then still, I measure from here to the near line. It's 1 unit. It's going to be here. This one is going to act as my B line because it's the image. Then I measure from here up to this point. Then from the middle, I've measured 4 units up there. So this one is going to act as my C line. Having got the procedure, you measure from the mirror line up to the point, then you come to the mirror line up to where the image will be. So that's what they did. But for them, they never indicated for me the coordinates. So if you don't indicate the coordinates, you lose out the marks for writing those coordinates. So let me join. You say the shape is the same. Let us see. So this is what we have there. I think you can see the shape is the same. Okay? So here the idea is identifying what the near line is. So now let us write our coordinates. So the coordinates we have there, we have first of all A, right? So A, what is the X? The X is negative 3, comma, the Y is negative 2. Are we there? Then B line, the X is 2, the Y is negative 2. Are we there? Then C prime, you mark whoever is having this as the coordinate should be correct. There are no points here. Then C, this is to the X. We read the X, then the Y. 2, negative 5. Then our D is going to be, you see the X is negative 3, comma, negative line. Those are the comments I expected. So you give a mark here, a mark for this, a mark for this, then a mark for this. Then here you also give 1, 1 for that correct interpretation of. Now, if you have like these big colleagues of ours, they never had the coordinates, so you don't give, because the question was find the coordinates of the image after reflecting this line. So you don't give the marks. So that's it. That's how we reflect now in this line. So today we have seen the difference between the vertical and the horizontal line, and the other name for x-axis and y-axis. So if you find this, some books you find they will just, instead of y-axis, they will just put x is equal to 0. So don't get excited, or don't get saying why it is this. So these are lines. If you don't call it x-axis, it's y equal to 0. If you don't call it y-axis, it's x equal to 0. Are we there? Okay. Now in our books, we are going to write this as our notes. In the video notes, then you try out that activity in the learner's guide, then you present that work. Okay, in the video, see you in the next lesson.